College Football 25 was a huge deal for sports gamers. We waited 11 long years to finally play a college football game after NCAA Football 14 was the last college football game that EA dropped back in 2013. Thankfully, we had the College Football Revamped mod during some of that time period. We also had Madden, of course, but the people were hungry for a college football game with updated gameplay and graphics. Then, College Football 25 dropped during the summer of 2024, and it definitely proved that people were starving for a new college football game. By November of that year, it had become the best-selling sports video game of all time in the United States, surpassing NBA 2K21. But just like with most sports video games, a lot of fans seem to have a love-hate relationship with College Football 25. Most fans are happy to finally have a new college football game, but they also hate certain things about the game, like some of the inconsistent commentary, defensive AI issues, road to glory and dynasty limitations, and gameplay balance issues. Me personally, I have been enjoying the gameplay of College Football 25. I feel that it plays better and feels more realistic than the latest Madden games, except for how high some of the defensive players can jump to pick off your passes. But there are also some things that I feel that the game is lacking, such as not having creative player, not having a tutorial mode, or the lack of certain player positions in Road to Glory. And I get it. This is the first college football video game in a long time. I figured some features wouldn't be in the game. And of course, this is EA we're talking about, so you know how that goes. So I thought it would be fun with College Football 26 on the horizon to share my personal wish list of features I would love to see added or things I would like to be different from College Football 25. I'm also a part of a College Football 25 Facebook group, and I asked this question last month. What are some new features, improvements, or changes you would love to see in College Football 26? And the response was amazing, with over 234 comments of people sharing their various ideas. I've grouped and categorized those responses to share with you all in a future video as well. I'm fully aware that some of the ideas in this video may never happen and are wishful thinking, but this video is meant to be a fun what-if type of video. This is going to be the first video of a two-part series. In this video, I'm going to share my personal wish list, and then in the next video, I'm going to share the wish list from the community. I'm not demanding that EA do any of these things. I don't know what all is involved in the video game creation process, but it would be awesome if they did include some of these things that I'm going to mention in this video. But enough with this intro. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Let's go. The first feature I would love to see implemented in College Football 26 is the ability to save in the middle of a game. We've all been there, I'm sure, especially if you've played Madden recently. You're in the middle of a really awesome game in a Road to Glory or in Madden in your superstar mode, and like you're playing defense, you got a couple of picks or whatever. You might have even had a pick six or even a fumble, or on offense, you scored a couple of touchdowns. You're feeling pretty good. And then the EA servers mess up and kick you out of the game, or Madden, whatever, crashes and you're back to your Xbox, PlayStation dashboard, or your internet decides to crap out and you've lost all of that progress. And so I would just love to see the ability to save in the middle of the game. It could be manual, where you can save whenever you want to, or it can be an auto save, like maybe after every quarter. Because I mean, if the game messes up after halftime and I at least got half of the game that I've already played, you know, I would like that instead of having to replay the entire game. And of course, you know, you may not get the same stats that you had previously. So I just feel like being able to save in the middle of a game would be a good feature. I just don't understand how, and again, I don't know how computer programming works fully, how to make games, you know, all that good stuff. But if non-sports games can autosave whenever, I feel like sports games can autosave. They autosave once we're done with the game, so why can't that happen in the middle of the game in case something happens? Like, I just feel like that should be a no-brainer right there. The next thing I would love to see changed, get rid of freaking auto blocking. EA, get rid of freaking auto blocking. I love to play wide receiver in college football and in Madden. I'm tired of running a route and I'm focused solely on running my route, but then I get flagged for an illegal block in the back because I accidentally ran into a freaking DB who's covering me tightly. Like, that's not my fault, but I run into him and then they automatically make me block because I made contact with him and the ball had already been thrown or handed off or whatever. Like, I'm so sick and tired of that. Get rid of auto blocking. Auto blocking is the dumbest thing ever. Make me press a button to engage the blocking animation. Don't just make me automatically block because the body is in front of me. And I've played around with it too. You can change the illegal block in the back all the way down to 0 and I still get calls for that because I accidentally do it when I'm not even trying to block. Oh, that's so dumb. I hate auto blocking. I hate it. And I know you can still technically press A, I think, on Xbox to actually engage blocking. I think I've done that a couple of times, but there should be no auto blocking feature. None at all. Here's another thing that I would love to see different. And after watching MLB The Show 25 trailers, I really hope EA took note. Change the Road to Glory skill points system. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. I almost put this at number 1, but the save in the middle of the game, I felt that was a little bit more important. Like, I felt like that could benefit everybody. The changing the skill point system, you know, most people may not care about this. This is more of a personal thing, but I would rather upgrade individual attributes than a group of attributes. Like, why can't I upgrade my speed individually, or my catching individually, or my throwing power, or whatever the case may be? Why do I have to save up a certain amount of points that you barely give us, you barely reward us with, to spend on a group? And here's the thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but when you put points into a particular group, some of those attributes may not even go up at all. Like, I've saved multiple times during Road to Glory playthroughs to where I pay attention to where each individual attribute is, and if I dump points, skill points into that attribute grouping and the ones I want don't go up, I will reload that save file and try it again until it goes up at least a little bit. Like, upgrading speed was so challenging in College Football 25, and half the time if you dump skill points into the category that speed is in, you don't even get a speed increase. And I've saved 10 to 11 points, waited nearly all season for that to happen, and I don't even get a +1 to speed when I dump points there. So that's why I would save, go back in and try it again until that happens. Like, that is crap. Let me just upgrade individual attributes. Let me make the player that I want. You can still do your little archetypes and stuff like that. I can still have caps on categories, so that'll make me choose, you know, maybe an archetype with the categories that I really want to be able to upgrade. But I would love to upgrade individual attributes. So I wish they would revamp that whole system, or make it like, well, MLB The Show used to do it to where the attributes steadily increase the more successful you are at doing particular things like catching or hitting, you know, contact, power, whatever. I wouldn't mind if they did something like that. Or it seems like this new system that MLB The Show 25 is gonna have, you get these tokens and then you can dump them either into individual attributes or into attribute groupings. Give me a choice then. I would be okay with either one of those situations. Let my attributes steadily increase the more successful I am at doing things, or allow me to choose picking individual attributes to upgrade, or choosing a group of attributes to upgrade at one time, depending on how many tokens, or they still want to call it skill points, that I have. Like, that was one of the biggest things as I was playing through College Football 25. I was like, if I ever make a video about this, which I am now, I need to include that on my list. Number 4, don't have call for the ball the same button as secure catch. This is dumb. It's straight up dumb. I hate that. I'm like working hard in Road to Glory, and I play mostly Road to Glory. I don't play Dynasty a whole lot. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know most of my videos with College Football 25 was geared toward Road to Glory. I keep wanting to say Road to the Show because I just watched some MLB The Show 25 trailers, but Road to Glory. And so when I'm playing wide receiver, which is one of my favorite positions to play, I hate when I get open, and it's sometimes user error. I get a little excited, so I tap the button. You know, maybe a couple of times, like, throw it to me, I'm wide open. But then I catch it because I tapped it, I guess, after the quarterback has thrown the ball, and I immediately fall down when I could have scored a freaking touchdown. So I hate that call for the ball. I think it's A on Xbox, and secure catch are the same buttons. I wish they would change the button scheme, or at least allow us to edit our own button layout maybe. But again, I don't know what it takes to make video games, so that might be a lot of extra work on their part to be able to do that. But I do know it's just hard when games in the past, even non-sports games, have certain features that current games do not have. And so when I play a game that allows me to change and remap my entire controller, I just feel like that should be something that's in every game. But I get it, too. Games are different, maybe they're focusing on particular things or whatever to give you a certain experience, but just don't make secure catch the same button that's calling for the ball. Ugh. And I said this video was going to be fun, but it does seem like I'm complaining about stuff. But those first four especially were some of the biggest things that I was just like, I hope it's different in College Football 26. Like, I am wishing and hoping that they make changes to, and they probably won't. And I'm still going to have fun playing College Football 26, but I just wanted to throw those first four out there first because those are really important. All right, so now we're kind of getting into ones that are not as important, but they're still on my list, and it's just things that I noticed while playing College Football 25 that I hope will be different in College Football 26. Better coach selection of plays in Road to Glory when you're playing offense or defense. You get the same plays over and over again if you let you use the coach's selection, which in Road to Glory, you're forced to do that because you're playing as one player, so you only get a certain amount of plays that pop up. And even if you gain coach's trust and you can unlock, more options of plays, they still give you like similar stuff all the time. I just wish there was more variety. And I get it in real life. When a play is working, you're going to see coaches run them again and again until the opposing team stops them. So I understand it to a certain extent, but come on, stop doing that every time, especially when it's not working. I remember playing quarterback in Road to Glory, and every single time we got into a 3rd and long situation, the whole game, the coach wanted to run a draw play and the defense stops it every time. Like, give me some more variety. It's a game where only a certain number of plays pop up already, so please stop giving me the same ones over and over again. There are some plays in the playbook when I'm playing Road to Glory that I've never used, or they'll randomly pop up during my junior or senior year. I'm like, we had this play all along and we never used it? Why? So I would love, a better selection. Some people want us, the users, to be able to select plays. And I feel like we want a game that's realistic, but also understanding that it's a video game at the same time. But I just feel like if you give us the power and Road to Glory to pick any play that we want to, that kind of makes it not as realistic, because of course in real life, if I'm a wide receiver, I'm not, really calling audibles. I'm glad we do have the ability to audible, but I'm not really selecting the plays. Our offense coordinator, defense coordinator, whatever, is doing that for us. The quarterback may have a little bit more autonomy to make some changes and various things like that. So I do enjoy the coaches picking the plays for us, and we're running whatever the coach picks, because again, it makes it more realistic, but just give us a better selection of plays. That's all I want. And when I gain coach's trust and I use my ability in the game to bring up 3 more plays to select from, don't make them the same plays. Like, I remember early on, and I think they fixed it later on, it will pop up the same 3 plays. And it's like, I'm not having a choice here. So, and then sometimes it'll pop up the same play that was selected. It would be a part of the 3 new plays that popped up. So give me variety of plays. Road to Glory subbing needs to be fixed. And I get that we have sliders that can affect things, but I'm sorry, if you're giving me a product that I paid for the most part, I shouldn't have to make use of those sliders just to make the game better for me. And that's kind of, that's kind of like, I know some people like, that's the point of sliders, to customize the gameplay experience, yada, 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 yada. But it just doesn't make sense to me when it comes to subbing, that I got to go in and turn stuff all the way down for my player who earned a starting position to be able to play most of the game. And I like the subbing out of games. It makes it realistic. I'm all about the game being as realistic as possible while still being a video game. But this game does sub you out way too much in Road to Glory, especially when you're a freshman and maybe even into your sophomore season. It's hard, and you're trying to improve so you can earn those stupid skill points to level up, and you're trying to gain coach's trust, but it's hard to gain those two things if you're constantly being taken out of the game. And sometimes you're taken out for an entire quarter at a time. And I'm going to talk about that with my next thing that I want to mention. But like, it's hard to earn those things. And I'm sorry, if I work my way to the starting position as a running back, I should have more carries than the backup running back. And I should not be subbed out every time we're in the red zone. I don't care if I just ran the ball for 30 yards. I should not be subbed out when we get to the red zone. That was a huge issue in college football 25. Like, there were some games where the backup, the second and the third string running back had more carries than I had when I was playing the running back position. Or I had way less touchdowns by the end of the season because I'm taken out in the red zone. Like, I had to break 60 plus yard touchdown runs just to add to my touchdown count. It's crazy. And I'm sorry, coach's trust, and I'm not adding this as the next thing, but I'm just gonna tie this into this. Coach's trust is kind of dumb. Like, I like having that in the game, but I don't like the way that they implement it. If I've earned the starting spot, I would say that my coach's trust is good enough for me to play the majority of the game. I don't care if I'm a freshman or a senior. You make me work to earn that starting spot, especially pretty much in the game. If you create less than a 5-star, and depending on what school you go to, you may have to earn the starting spot by going through practice and then the stupid position battles or whatever. But like, I feel like if I'm starting, I have coach's trust. Maybe if I keep fumbling or not catching the ball, throwing interceptions, then, there might be a possibility where I get, based on my game performances, that I get less snaps, at quarterback or whatever, or even eventually get benched. That would be cool. But like, the whole coach's trust, it seems stupid. And the only thing it really unlocks is the ability to change the plays. Like, I don't see a true benefit in the game to coach's trust. And I know there's a little bit more involved with it, but there's still no true payoff. So maybe this is my 6th thing. So maybe that's a 6B, revamp the coach's trust system. Back to, talking about the subbing. Stop using that, EA, for the computer to cheat. I hate when I get subbed out, we're winning, and then I sit there and watch the simulation of the other team scoring 2 or 3 times, and now we're losing the game. And it's 4th quarter. By the time I get back into the game, it's like a minute left. Stop using that, the subbing me out of the game in Road to Glory, for the computer to obviously cheat. Instead, especially on higher difficulties, and I think somebody in the community suggested this, how the computer make better reads and plays when I increase difficulty. Again, I don't know how the programming works. I don't know what all will have to be changed or tweaked to make that happen, but just make the computer play better. Don't blatantly cheat. And and I think people call that like rubber banding or whatever. I thought rubber banding was a different term in video games, but apparently sports games have this rubber banding thing to where even if you work hard to get better and better, the computer still keeps getting better, and basically they cheat even if you're playing well. And it always happens in the second half too. Like, I'll be up in Road to Glory, or even if I'm just playing the computer on Heisman mode and sometimes All-American, I could be up by 2 or 3 scores, and then after halftime, all of a sudden, nothing I did in the first half is working. I make adjustments, sure. In real life, you're gonna have to make adjustments after halftime. But like, I can't complete passes. I'm throwing more interceptions. All of a sudden, I'm fumbling the ball. Like, it's just obvious that they're making the computer cheat. The computer starts running no huddles. They're breaking off all kind of crazy runs. My D-line looks like crap compared to their O-line, and vice versa. So somebody in the community suggested an option to turn that off. I don't know how feasible that would be, like to turn off the rubber banding, but stop making it obvious that the computer is cheating. If the game is scripted, and I don't really like that either, but if the game is scripted, then make it less obvious that the computer's cheating and more like, just the computer was meant to win that particular game. I get it. In real life, you don't win every single game. But whenever I lose in this game, probably 90% of the time, it was obvious that the computer was cheating. That just drives me crazy. And they do it a lot of times by subbing me out. But then also while you're playing too, you can clearly see, especially if you're playing certain positions in Road to Glory, I like to play wide receiver a lot. My quarterback just falls apart. when they want the computer to come back and, and win. So, one more thing I wanted to say about that before I move on to, I just thought about it. I was going to say it earlier. Sports video games, I feel, you play other games like even Dark Souls games, and you grind and you practice, you put in the work and you get better. And as you get better, you're able to, defeat, enemies and stuff that you couldn't defeat before. It's like those other games, even tough games like Dark Souls and the Souls-like games, they reward you with putting in the work, getting better, putting in practice. Sports games don't do that. You can get really good at a sports game, and I get it, they're trying to simulate real life, but a sports game could still screw you over. I've been up 4 to 5 scores playing the computer before and lose a game because of the obvious cheating from the computer. Like, if I'm up 4 to 5 scores, I don't care what team I'm playing, can I have that victory, please? That rarely happens. And sometimes it doesn't happen against teams that I should blow out. Sometimes those teams that I should blow out are my toughest opponents for the season or whatever. So yeah, sports games don't do a good job of rewarding you for getting better, in my opinion. All right, I got 2 more things. The next one is team builder stuff that I want to talk about. And then I'm going to go back to Road to Glory for the last thing. But for team builder, I'm glad that they brought that back. I don't care that it's online. I love being able to make teams and customize stuff. Like, I'm a very creative person, so that's a really cool feature for me. The one thing I don't like, and they've had this in previous games, I don't like how there's no custom team builder stadiums. You have to choose from a real life team stadium. And then it kills the immersion, because when you're playing a game at home, you can see the branding. And there's some stadiums that hide the branding of the team pretty well, but you can see the branding of the teams. So if you're not going to give us custom team builder stadiums or the ability to edit and create and upgrade our own stadiums, that would be a really cool feature. But if you're not going to give us the ability to do that, at least remove the real team signage if we're forced to choose real stadiums. Either make it so the team branding in there changes to whatever logo I uploaded for my team builder team, or just get rid of the branding. They do a good job of making the crowd colors match, even though there's issues with that at first, but crowd colors match and all that cool stuff. So that helps, but it sucks when I'm like driving down the field and I see underneath the Jumbotron, Auburn Tigers or whatever. I don't know, but you get my point. So, but I would love a create a stadium feature with Team Builder to create my own stadium, or give me custom stadiums like 4 or 5. It doesn't even have to be that much. Give us like 4 or 5 that we can maybe make some minor changes to. I think NHL games got it to where you can customize your own arena and various things like that. So again, and EA makes those games, so I know it's possible, but give us some team builder stadiums that we can edit, or just give us custom ones that don't look like real team stadiums that we can choose from, and then put our branding on there. And I would love, and this is just a little minor thing, I would love to where we can kind of either create or at least have a custom, like a team intro for our team, instead of going straight to the game. They spent so much time building that college atmosphere with all of these real life teams, capturing, how they come out onto the field, the pageantry, all the different visuals and various things that you see before a game. I would love that for my team builder team. Like, give me some options. I think in the past you could choose one of the real life mascots to be your mascot. Give us some generic ones that we can pick from, like a tiger, so that way my team is the Tigers or the Bengals or something. I could choose that tiger mascot to be out on the field with the cheerleaders, or give us a way to make some sort of intro. So I just wanted to tie that in. But team builder stadiums, though, definitely custom ones. And if we can edit and upgrade them over time and stuff like that as our team gets better, like we're playing Dynasty, our team gets better and we can upgrade the stadium, that would be really, really cool for our team builder teams. There's some people out there doing some amazing jobs with these team builder teams. I would love to see that we can customize stuff even more so. And the last thing I want to talk about is, this is just a very minor thing. It's a personal thing. When I create a player in Road to Glory, I would love to be able to save that player build. Because sometimes I want to, like, for example, if I create myself as a wide receiver, after I play through that and take that wide receiver to Madden or something, I may want to go back and play as quarterback or linebacker and I don't really want to create a whole new player. So I would love to be able to, and I think 2K does this, to save that player. So I already got what he looks like, his hair, so I can just, you know, upload that player build and then just change my position, make some minor changes like changing the height, you know, and weight to fit that position more so. I would love something like that. That would be a really cool feature that I would love to see in College Football 26. Again, not a huge deal. That's just a personal thing, but yeah, I would like something like that. Well, there you have it. Those are the 9 features or changes I would love to see in College Football 26. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely hit that like button. Another video is coming really soon in the next week or two, where I'm gonna take a look at some requests from the community, from that Facebook post that I made, so you guys can see what other features that people want to see in College Football 26 that's different from my own wish list. Drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. What are some things you would love to see in College Football 26? Do you agree with some of the stuff that I mentioned, or are there some other features or changes to the gameplay and stuff that you would love to see implemented in College Football 26? I might throw some of your comments into that video that I'm going to make and add to the plans that I already kind of have for it. So drop me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. If you're new around here, check out a lot of my content. In addition to videos about College Football 26, like I do tutorials, I do videos like this where I'm kind of just talking about some features and various things and just giving my opinion and things that I want. I do indie horror games on my channel, a variety of gaming content. So if you like it, definitely hit that subscribe button. I'll greatly appreciate it. My goal is 10,000 subscribers this year. Got a little ways to go, having a little bit over 3,000, but I'm just so thankful that over 3,000 people are tuned in to my channel. Like, that's crazy. I never thought I would even have that amount of people. So to get to my year-end goal of 10K would just be that'll be phenomenal. So if you like the content, definitely hit that subscribe button. But I will see you guys in another video. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. You could have been anywhere in the world pondering new features and stuff that you would love to see in College Football 26 yourself, but you chose to spend some time with your boy Azkhalon, and I greatly appreciate it. Y'all take care. Peace.